Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Gardening and Crocs. Today let's talk about something a little bit different. Let's talk about all these lovely flowers we have here in the garden. We have quite a list. Matter of fact, I made a list and I left it back at the house. So in the spirit of being lazy, I'm going to try to name them all off while I'm sitting here. So first thing we have on the list here are some snapdragons. I got some sunflowers. I got some cosmos. I have some sweet alyssum. We have some daisies. We have all kinds of chamomile. I got marigolds. I let some carrots right behind me flower out. I also have some poppies. I have some hibiscus. We also have some comfrey, that those tend to flower out. Got all kinds of flowers in the garden this year. So this year I plan to plant a lot more flowers in my garden. It was one of my goals of the year. One reason why I wanted to do that was to attract all kinds of pollinators and beneficial insects to the garden. There's a ton of beneficial insects that flock to these all these little flowers, the cosmos, the chamomile, all of them. They come in, they pollinate or grab the pollen from the flowers. I grab the pollen from the vegetables. They pollinate my vegetables for me. They do such a good job. They also tend to kill some pests. There's also some that come in that love these flowers that tend to kill some pests. So that's one benefit of having these out here. The next benefit is it just makes my garden a lot more enjoyable. I love coming out here now. I don't dread coming out here. It's just not a regular garden with rows and weeds and stuff. It's aesthetically pleasing. It warms my heart. It gives me the fizz. So it's something that really helps me out, gets me out here, helps me when I'm don't want to do something. It drags me out here and then I get stuff done. Third reason why I like to come out here with the garden is it provides me with tons of cut flowers. I can come out, snip a couple flowers off, bring them in to Mrs. Croc Gardener, and she loves them, and then she loves me. Many of these plants also have various uses for the garden. Take this comfrey plant. If you watched me before on my comfrey video, I take this huge plant, as you can see, huge plant, cut it down. I did that about a month ago. Use it for mulch in the garden, so that way I get provided with a very nutrient-rich mulch. Another example of a good plant that's good for the garden would be marigolds. Those marigolds, they exude a scent that keeps certain insects off your plants. Calendulas are the same way. So we have several flowers in the garden that are multi-purpose. Not only do they look good, but they serve a definite purpose. A lot of times I'll let a lot of different plants just go to flower, and when they flower they tend to seed. Sometimes I'll self-sow themselves so that we do get another harvest out of them. Good example is this carrots. I let these carrots get way too big last fall. I just left them in here and now they are seeding out. They are providing a ton of places for all these beneficial insects. Another plant I do this with would be my various vegetables that end up getting too big. Like let's take this bok choy for example. It's got a lot of pretty yellow flowers on there. There's one that's fallen over in the pathway that needs to be removed, but yet still provides me with a ton of flowers for beneficial insects. These sunflowers I use for feeding the birds in the wintertime. We'll grow them up. They do attract pollinators. They also provide us with these big seed heads, and I dry out the seeds, feed them to the birds in the wintertime. Kind of gives me extra joy to see some animals out and about in the wintertime whenever it's cold and nothing's really going on. Kind of makes me remind me of that warmer times are to come with the garden. The sunflowers also provide a place for beans like that, pole beans, to grow up. So along several of these sunflowers, I got pole beans planted, and you can kind of see here, this little pole bean slowly going to go up that huge sunflower. Also, some of these flowers provide beneficial stuff for the kitchen. Take these chamomile flowers, for example. They're so fragrant, but they are going to be dried out, and I'm going to use them for tea in the wintertime. So there are some of these flowers do have medicinal purposes to them that we don't use. I know comfrey has a medicinal purpose to it that I don't use. But these chamomile, I grew specifically a lot of chamomile for tea this year. Not only for that, but for the beneficial insects that it drives in. It drives in a ton of them. So tell me, what's your take on flowers in the garden? Do you grow anything in the garden? What do you grow if you grow any? Do you want to start growing some flowers in the garden? Leave a bunch of comments. Let's start a discussion. If you like what's going on over here at this channel, please subscribe, like the channel, give it a big old thumbs up. Appreciate everybody out there. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.